This week in Hey the Parents, we're talking all about the movies that shaped our childhoods. Whether they were magical, terrifying, or just inappropriate. We'll dive into the classics that we rented from the library, the ones we caught on HBO, the movies we caught on primetime with all the curse words dubbed over, and the movies our parents probably shouldn't have let us watch. We'll also share movies we loved growing up with, and whether our kids actually enjoyed them, or if we're just blindsided by nostalgia. Plus, we'll talk about what we want to show them, or if we're worried they might be too scary or questionable the way that we remember them. Because in Hey the Parents, it's an honest discussion about raising kids. I'm Michael Haidt.
I'm Sarah D.
And I'm Mike Levine.
Kids don't come with a handbook, so we need your help.
Where do babies come from?
Where do you think they come from?
Is this a kissing book?
Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
I learned it by watching you.
There are no rules in this house. Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
We sent them to the best boarding schools. We hired the best nannies. We did everything right.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
No drinking, no drugs, no kissing, no tattoos, no piercings, no ritual animal slaughters of any kind.
Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
This is Hey Other Parents, an honest, messy, imperfect show for raising kids.
Hey, welcome back.
What's
It's us
up?
again.
Hey there.
Hey there, toodly-doo.
Toodly-doo. How's it
So, like last time when we were all slapping ourselves in the back about recording at night, and we were all proud of that, and we were all woken up. Here we are again on a Sunday morning, bright and early.
Hey.
Old habits.
Yep.
Good habits. They're hard to kick, whatever they
Yes,
are.
whatever it is.
We're glad that you guys are here to hang out with us. We figure out this parenting thing. Whether you are in the car, folding laundry, cooking dinner, getting organized, getting on your TV to rent a good movie, we know that you have a lot of choices for podcasts out there, so thank you for listening to ours. We'd like to send a big welcome to our new moms and dads listening, and a big hearty hello to the returning listeners who are back to put up with us for yet another episode. So if this is your first time joining us in this podcast, Hey the Parents, it is a chance for a few of us parents who decide that we need to join our efforts together to try and get through this thing, as we call it, a survival course. We pick a different theme, a different topic each week. We discuss it from the standpoint of when we were younger, what we grew up with our own parents, and then we shift on over to now as adults, where we did not get a handbook with our own kids. We talk about what we go through, we share some of our experiences, we learn from each other, and every week we feel a little bit better because we have each other and we have all of you. So if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, we'll tell you a little bit later in the show on how you get in touch with us here. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the main part of the podcast, and that entails the topic of the week. In 94. What is? Oh, is that what that is? Did you read that on purpose?
Yes. No, I didn't write that down.
Oh, that's so funny. It wasn't a typo that I just actually dropped in there. And that entails the topic of the week in 1994.
1994.
Which is actually too late. So that entails the topic of the week. So Sarah D, what are we talking about today?
So we're talking about the movies that we enjoyed when we were younger, and maybe they'll be a hit or a flop with ours. And we're going to also have a little fun with a BuzzFeed quiz.
This is good because we're predating. We're going before Harry Potter. We're going before all of these movies. We're gonna go the old school. We're going to the 80s. We're going to the 90s. So this is gonna be a fun time. This episode will be a chance for us to kind of question if we possibly are an even worse influence on our children with the movies and things that we talk about and the things that we enjoyed as kids. We'll wonder if maybe we're paying it forward in bad decision making. And just maybe we will find out that a parent's job is sharing fun stuff from their childhood, whether they are wildly inappropriate or not. So, Sarah D, let's get kicking here. Where do you want to start?
So I think we let's do a BuzzFeed quiz. Get our juices flowing. I think we found a pretty cool one that we could do. So the title of this quiz is, can we actually guess your favorite movie genre based on your A to Z movie preferences? Let's see.
So I'm going to say that mine is probably going to fall either under comedy or fantasy. I'm going to guess. Where do you think yours is going to end up?
Mine's going to probably fall under like a thriller, fantasy. Yeah. One of those.
Something along those lines? Okay, let's see what we got.
All right, let's see.
All right. Here we go. All right. For A, Avengers, Avatar, Alien, Amelie, Atonement, or A Quiet Place. I'm going to go for, I think Avatar is probably the blue people, right? I'm going to go with, it's a tough one. I'm going to go, we'll talk about Alien later. All right. I'm going to go for Avengers, I think.
I was going to say Avengers as well.
All right. B.
Quiet Place was good.
That was good. Okay, here we go. B, Back to the Future, Black Panther, Bridesmaids, Black Swan, Batman Begins, or Baby Driver. I have to go Back to the Future.
I say all.
I do want to go. Bridesmaids is pretty funny though, but
I know, but is it like top? Let me see.
I know.
I'll go Black Panther.
Oh, nice choice. Back to the Future, although I think it does lose a couple points when you realize the whole creepy scene between his mom and him. It just freaks me out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, C, Crazy Rich Asians, Clueless, Captain America Winter Soldier, Coraline, Crazy Stupid Love, or Cinderella. I will go for Clueless, believe it or not.
Coraline.
Oh, nice choice.
I love Coraline.
I love the not that I want my kids doing it with me, but like when she's like negotiating her grades is just so funny to me. All right, here we go. And now she's doing movies for like the like Hallmark Channel or something. Now she's like a grown up, which is really bizarre. At least she's still
Oh, really? Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's so strange. All right, D, Deadpool, Die Hard, Dumb and Dumber, Dirty Dancing, Dreamgirls, Dazed and Confused. Oh man, I'm torn between Dumb and Dumber and Dazed and Confused right now.
I love Dumb and Dumber, but I love Dirty Dancing. Which one is better? I probably Dirty Dancing. I would watch more often now than
our pets' heads
Dumber.
are freaking falling off. How do we want our kids to think about us? Do you want our kids to think about like a drug-induced movie, Dazed and Confused, or should we go with Dumb and Dumber? Dazed and Confused. I don't know about Dazed and Confused. Never saw that one. Let's go with Dumb and Dumber. All right. E, Easy A, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Edward Scissorhands, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Easy the Extraterrestrial. We'll talk about that a little later. Or Elf. I am totally going for Elf in this one.
Ooh, Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, nice choice. By the way, Everything Everywhere All at Once, wacky movie. I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so strange. F, Forrest Gump. I think of Forrest Gump as a comedy because the lines are so quotable. Frozen, Finding Nemo, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Freaky Friday, or Friday the 13th.
Forrest Gump.
It's tough. I know. I just want to go that way too. All right. G, Guardians of the Galaxy, Get Out, Grease, Gone Girl, Gremlins, or Ghostbusters. Oh man, this is a tough one. I love Guardians, but I'm gonna go nostalgia.
Oh, for Gremlins.
I'm gonna go for Gremlins too. Yeah, I would say Ghostbusters, but I think that with Ghostbusters, I think I like the idea of liking Ghostbusters more than I think I actually like it.
I think I like Slimer better than Ghost. Like
yeah, exactly. All right, H. Get your head in the game, H, because High School Musical, Home Alone, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Heathers, How to Train Your Dragon, or Hercules. I am going for Heathers this time.
And now, How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Is that the original, the Jim Carrey, or?
Oh, I'm assuming it's probably the. I don't know. Do you think it's the original?
I think so. I'm gonna go with original or Jim Carrey. I don't like the.
Oh, Heathers is good too. A little Christian Slater, classic. Iron Man, Interstellar, It's a Wonderful Life, Inside Out, Independence Day, or Inception. I think I'm going for. Oh man, Iron Man or Inside Out. I don't think Iron Man 1 was something as I loved as much as I thought it did. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Independence Day was good too. Inside Out. Nah, I'm changing mine. I'm gonna go for Independence Day. No, I'm not. I'm staying Inside Out. Stay with it, Hyde. All right, Jay. Are you saying what would you go with?
Inside Out. I felt like by default.
Let's do it. All right, Jay. Here we go. Joker, Jurassic Park, Jumanji, John Wick, Jennifer's Body, or Juno. Ooh, Juno was pretty good, but I'm gonna go with I should go with John Wick. John Wick was pretty insane. I'm gonna go John Wick. All right, K. I'm not getting a lot of fancy here. I think I'm gonna mess this one up for myself. All right, K. Kung Fu Panda. Now I'm gonna like flip the switch and go like the other direction. Kung Fu Panda, Knives Out, Kill Bill Volume 1, Kingsman, The Secret Service, Knocked Up, or Kick Butt. Kick Ass, I guess we'll say it. I will go with Knocked Up's pretty funny. All right, I'm gonna go Kick Ass. That was pretty awesome movie.
That one.
Oh, it's so insane. It's got what's his name? Nice choice. What's his name? Who's the guy in like every flipping movie? Who's what was that movie where like it was like the like Social Studies movie where it was like they try to like go and like save the Constitution and then it was like Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is like the dad to this girl who he's like training to be like a assassin.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Okay, now I remember that movie.
You remember that?
Yes.
The movie's nuts, right? All right, here we go. L, La La Land, Legally Blonde, Lilo and Stitch, Love Actually, Lady Bird, and Little Women. I think Love Actually is awesome. My wife and I have watched it so many times together. I kind of dig it.
Love Actually. I feel
it's a movie like, like 12 different stories that all kind of work together at the end.
remember that one. But I'm gonna go with Lilo and Stitch. Oh
Nice.
yes, okay. I remember Love Actually. Okay.
Right.
See,
Lilo and Stitch is I didn't watch when I was a kid, and I probably should have because I don't have the nostalgia for it. But now that the live action was coming out, I think I'm gonna dig it.
yes.
All right,
hi,
M.
Mean
Oh
Girls.
man,
Let's see.
this is a tough one here. Oh, M's gonna be good. Okay, Mean Girls, Mad Max, Men in Black, Mamma Mia, Moana, or Megamind. I'm going Mean Girls. It's pretty quotable. It's pretty funny.
Man, it is. Mean Girls is good. But I do love Moana.
Moana's good.
Seen a lot of
It's a good one.
cartoons.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You like the cartoons? They're pretty good.
Animation.
All right. And I need something with fantasy, otherwise I'm going to be like a liar. Nope. Night of the Museum. Now You See Me. National Treasure. Never Been Kissed. Or Napoleon Dynamite.
Never Been Kissed. That was the
I'm going.
one.
I'm going Napoleon Dynamite. I guess it's gonna be comedy for me because give me your tots.
I don't know why. I love Night at the Museum, but Never
That's a
Been
good
Kissed.
one.
I'm gonna do Never Been Kissed.
Oh, and I skipped National Treasure. That's good. That's the one that I was referring to before. Or as I called it, the quote unquote social studies movie. Oh man, pretty inspiring. All right. Oh, Ocean's 11, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Old Boy, Orphan, October Sky, or Ouija. What do they call it? Ouija.
Ouija. Okay.
This is ridiculous. I don't really have one here that I'm really in love with.
No.
I guess I'll go with Ocean's 11.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Ouija. Ouija was entertaining. Wasn't scary.
Is that? I know you're like. I'm surprised that they didn't give you many options for horror movies because I think you would have definitely gotten that.
I know.
Pretty Women, Parasite. Yeah, right. There's not even anything here. All right, Pretty Women, Parasite, Pride and Prejudice, Pitch Perfect. There's a lot of alliteration going on here. Paddington or Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. I think I'm gonna. Oh man, Pitch Perfect or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pretty Woman.
All right, I'm gonna go with Pirates of the Caribbean. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think Parasite was not my kind of.
Yeah, I know. It's like
There is a lot of movies for you.
Is it another one where like I kind of like think I liked it more than I really did? Like I think I just like the ride and it makes me think I want to like the movie.
Right.
All right, Q.
I know.
Oh, that's funny. Here. You do? Okay, so this is Quantum of Solace. Queen of the Damned the sequel to Interview with the Vampire?
Yes.
I think it is, right? They just
right.
didn't have enough cues, I think, here. Yeah. Quarantine, Quest for Camelot, Quartet, or Quilt. I don't know. I guess is that a James Bond movie? I don't even know. Oh, Quarantine was a little Outbreak Monkey, right?
I think so, yeah.
Not exactly something anybody was looking fondly back on after the past 4 years.
No.
Let's go with what is the Quest for Camelot? Is that a cartoon? No, that's Sword in the Stone. What is the quest?
Quest for Camelot. Oh, that sounds so familiar. But
it is.
I think Queen of the Dam. Which Quest for Camelot?
I think I'm gonna join you in that, or yeah.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
it is animation. Oh yeah, it's with the dragon dude. It's a magical feature-length animation adventure, brimming with laughter and
I
song.
think I saw this.
Oh, I remember this Quest for Camelot.
Yeah, it looks like they ripped off. It looks like they ripped off the dragon from Disney from Epcot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The imagination guy? Figment?
Yes.
Not cool. Quest for Camelot. I can't steal Figment. All right. I'm gonna go with I don't know. I'm just gonna go with James Bond, I guess, randomly. All right. R. Oh, there we go. I'm wearing the shirt today that I made from Disney. Ratatouille, Roman Holiday, Rocky, Romeo and Juliet, Rush Hour, Ready or Not. Ratatouille all the way.
Oh man. I'm between
Everyone
Romeo
can cook, little
Juliet.
chef.
Oh,
Nice.
Rush Hour.
Oh, Rush Hour's good too. What's it gonna be?
Okay. I could do Rush Hour. Good memories with that one.
Good memories.
Good
All
memories.
right, here we go. We're getting towards the end now. S. Shrek, Scream, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Slumdog Millionaire, School of Rock, or Shaun of the Dead. Oh man, there's a lot of good choices here. Oh man, School of Rock or Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm gonna go with No Way Home. I love Spider-Man.
On goes Trek.
Nice. Donkey. Like, is this filled with really bad impersonations for me this episode or what?
I love it.
It's cringy.
Okay,
Here we go. T. Oh man, it wouldn't matter. I know exactly where I'm going for T. But what's weird about this is, can I just put on the non-academia childhood grammar stuff? The shouldn't count for being in T. You should skip to the first letter of the word. So in this
Yes,
one,
exactly.
Twilight, Titanic, Thor, Ragnarok, Train to Busan, The Dark Knight, and The Princess Bride, and The Dark Knight don't belong here. But I'm going to say, even though I love Thor Ragnarok because it's such a good movie, I have to go with Princess Bride because you put down your rock, I put down my sword, and we kill each other like civilized people. Which
Thor or Titanic? I'm stuck. Never Let Go or Hilarious?
Man, Thor Ragnarok is an awesome movie. I love that movie.
I'm gonna go with Thor because that was funny.
I know with Korg. It's like Meep's dead. Oh, Meep's still alive. All right, let's go. You, Up, Us, short movies. Up, Us, Underdog, Uptown Girls, Unbroken, or Under the Tuscan Sun. I don't know anything here except for one movie. I only know Up. Is that wrong?
What's Us? The movie? Oh, Us. That scared the one with the mask.
Oh, well.
Gosh, the guy who wrote Get Out.
Key and Peele?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
Jordan
right,
Peele.
isn't it? Yeah.
So,
I'm like, I don't remember which one wrote him because I'm not a horror movie guy, so I rather just watch Key and Peele and laugh than watch this and see scary.
No, Jordan Peele. But the thing is that with Us, Gene and I went in there thinking it was going to be like another thriller, scary movie, and it was like slight comedy, and we were like so confused. Yeah. So I had to rewatch it again with a different lens. We didn't know. But I'm going to go for Up for now.
This is why we don't have a movie review podcast, except for just now. We're like, we're going to watch it with a different lens. It's definitely not the right theme for us. Oh my god, we should watch movies and watch them because for the everyday people, because we don't really have the background or knowledge to even. No. Well, you see our parenting, so it's probably consistent. All right, Venom, V for Vendetta, Valentine's Day, Vanilla Sky, Valley Girl, or Van Helsing. Well, it's nice to see a vampire fighting movie, but V for Vendetta was interesting. But you know what? Gonna go for the old cheesy May movie, Venom.
And me too. I'm gonna go for Venom as well.
All right, we're getting towards the end here. W. When Harry Met Sally, weirdest Super Bowl commercial in a while. Wall-E, Wonder Woman, West Side Story. Oh man, gotta get a good fight dance move in there. Whiplash or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Is that the original? Is that the OG?
I would go OG or even with the Johnny Depp.
The new one? Yeah. Or even Timothy Chalamet with his. Oh, that's just called Wonka, right?
Yeah.
All right. In honor of my boy, who's eating cereal right now, I'm going for Willy Wonka. Yeah. Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory is the one with the original one, right? With the Candyman Ken, right? Oh, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So Willy Wonka is the Johnny Depp one. Ooh.
Oh.
Thank you. I would say you're a bit of a knowledgeable little man there, Smiley Face. All right. It's an interactive podcast. All right. X is under. That was Noah. Noah's schooling me and Harry on chocolate. Yeah.
Well, he's
all right.
So
here
smart.
We go.
Okay, Noah.
He is good. Well done. We'll go for the Johnny Depp, even though that's like the least liked one, I think. All right. X. X. Oh, it was Malcolm X. No, wait, no, that's not X 2022. Don't know what that is. X-Men, Xanadu, X-Men Apocalypse. Oh, they just 3 of these are X-Men movies. So X-Men, X-Men Apocalypse, or X-Men Dark Phoenix, or XOXO, or Xanadu. I don't think X-Men Apocalypse should be on this list. Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. X-Men Dark Phoenix was, I think it was.
Oh, and X 2022 is a horror. I never even heard of it.
I don't even know. Because some of the X-Men movies are really, really bad. X-Men Apocalypse was probably better than Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix was a disaster. And the original X-Men, I saw it somewhat recently. I didn't think it was very good. So I'm going to go with X-Men Apocalypse. I think nostalgia played a major part in what I would have put if I didn't watch X-Men more recently.
Oh, see, I'll go with nostalgia. X-Men.
You X-Men? Nice. You know what happens to a toad when he gets hit by lightning? The same thing as everything else. Like, who wrote that? Come on. All right, why? Here we go. You've got Mail, Your Name, Young Frankenstein, Yes Man, Yogi Bear, or Yesterday.
Ooh,
think it's
Young
gonna be Young Frankenstein. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yeah.
up. That's why you and I, man, we bond over dumb
We
things.
got that.
And finally, Z, I already know which one I'm going for because it's ridiculous. Zootopia, Zombieland, Zodiac, Zoolander, Zero Dark 30, or Zookeeper. I'm going for
Oh,
on Blue Ice. I'm going for Zoolander.
oh, I love Zookeeper and I
How's it
love
go too?
Zootopia.
Oh man,
Zootopia, because
can I be honest with you? I don't think this quiz gave you a chance to do fantasy if you wanted to
no,
movies.
okay, I got my result.
Yeah, all right. I got comedy. What'd you get?
I got horror with all this
Oh,
all animations. I guess I like dark animation.
you pulled it off. Well done. All right. It says, I'm guessing you like comedies the best when it comes to movies. You just love to laugh and have a good time with happy face balloons. Did you get horror?
I got horror.
What's it say about you? You have a dark and twisted person now.
I think you like horror movies the best. They're just nothing like there's just nothing like the feeling of being scared. Ooh.
Listen, I hate to say this, but there's not something about BuzzFeed quizzes. They just hit right sometimes. They're just wonderful, aren't they? All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for putting up with this as we BuzzFeeded. We hope to hear how you guys did this, and if you think it, if it kept up with your beliefs and your preferences prior to taking the quiz. I say sort of. All right, so Sarah D, let's get into the it's time to go back to nostalgia, because just like X-Men, sometimes what we don't remember can hurt us. I don't know. All right, so let's take a look back. So why don't we start with movies from our childhood? Okay, what
man.
did you remember? Did your parents take you to the library or rental stores? Did you go nuts and have like that moment where you were like unleashed and you had to make that decision where you pick up all the empty boxes and you're like, which one's it gonna be? Which one's it gonna be?
Oh, I love that. So look, I don't remember us going to the library. We lived at the library, but I don't remember us renting movies. But we used to go to this place called Adam and Eve's, and it was like a movie rental place on Broadway in Massapequa. So we would walk in. I guess it was like small. It was like the Blockbuster before Blockbuster, and you would walk in, and we would like literally like shake like the boxes to see like if there was a movie there. And then we would just like look around. I always remember also too, like it was like you guys are in this section. Do not go beyond that.
Yes,
like, okay,
yes.
cool.
Because there's always like a questionable booth of yeah.
So we would go there, and then the one movie Anthony and I used to always gravitate towards was this one called Gallivants. And
no way, I don't remember
it was
that.
from 1983, and it was about like these little ants. It was an animation, and like when they become like real ants, they like got like the third little bump on their butt or whatever, and like that's like how they grew up.
Congratulations.
Yes, it was like yes, and like and that was the whole thing. Like all the ants were like getting the little butts, like the little extra butt or whatever.
And that's how you guys learn where babies came from.
Or like the beginning of the bodily changes. So I guess this little ant wasn't going through puberty because it took him a while to get his, and it was like a whole adventure because you had to earn the little extra butt bump.
Third.
I love that movie. That we used to watch it all the time. And then there was like a song, because there's these little evil like snake guys, and it was like a two-headed snake, and I was like, two heads are better than one. It's like it was like a whole song, and like every time now, like it's something I quote. Like I'm like, well, two heads, they're better than one.
That's
and, like,
amazing.
No one gets it, just me, but it makes me happy.
But now I could just yell from across the room and be like, Gallivants.
Gallivants, yes. What about you? What was your movie memory?
Oh, man, I think this is a weird preferences. I think I definitely took out Baron Munchausen, which was like such a weird fever dream of a movie. Oh, it's like this wacky movie where this guy tells his tale of, it's sort of like a weird Don Quixote kind of thing where this guy like does all these things to protect the kingdom, and then you think he's like full of nonsense, and then at the end,
I remember this movie. Okay.
He has a big mustache and a hot air balloon.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't say that I remember a lot more than that, but it was. I remember enjoying it as a kid. And like that kind of movie, and like Time Bandits and like Army of Darkness, I remember taking out like the sequel to Evil Dead that was like a comedy more than like a horror movie. It definitely went nuts, you know. But they had at the library, they had like all these old, I don't even know what you even call them. They were like from like the 1960s or whatever. Or maybe they were even earlier. They were these like clay animation-y Jason and the Argonauts, and like they were these like old movies that were way before my time and our time, our time completely. And they were these like Greek mythy sort of like movies where like they made these monsters out of like clay, and it was like,
Oh, okay.
do you remember any of these? Like
I
you
think
fight
I
like a
remember
big
this.
scorpion, or like
Yes.
I love these
The little
movies. I don't know
owl?
what was it. Yes,
The owl
yes.
thing. Oh my god, what was that movie called? It was
Oh my god, I can't even think what that was, but I
can't even think
remember that.
but it was good. Yes.
Yes,
Used to love that
yes.
too all the time. We used to watch that.
Right.
And then like, cause you know what it was also too. Like my dad, we used to he used to record like all these like Broadway shows, like South Pacific and things like
Okay.
that. So we would, and like he had like a big case like under the bed, so we would just pull it out and just pick a movie, like a show, like The King and
way.
I and stuff like that. So like,
Oh, I love it.
we had our own little movie thing going on. But yeah, no, I remember. And then, do you remember Blockbuster? Like the nostalgia of going there.
Oh my god, that was crazy because that was like, it felt like like what people don't remember about that was that it definitely felt near the weekend was whatever version of like
Yes.
Black Friday shopping was like, because like you would go in and it was like you would make a beeline, because like as if as a kid you thought like maybe you had a shot at getting like the last copy of a new release, because everyone would be battling, and you would look on the wall, right, and there would be like all the empty boxes, but like a wall of them, and it would be like you would just run it out the order, new releases, going down the line, like do they have it, do they have it, do they have it? And then if they didn't have it, you would like look behind the counter and see if anybody just returned a video and they haven't put it away yet. It's like, oh, what do you have back there? You know?
Yeah. Yep. No, and like, or like the best part was too, like, you know, like you plan your weekend. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go Blockbusters. We're gonna get pizza. We're gonna pick out this movie, and it's like, okay, everyone picks one movie out, you know, and
Ooh.
and like my mom would always go to like, you know, like the old section.
Yeah.
And then I would go like anywhere. Like I just like I didn't care. I just wanted to watch something, you know.
She's like, Sarah, how about Moonstruck? You're like, come on.
I'm like, what is that? I'm like, who's that? No, probably even older because
I know, because back then it probably wasn't actually that old, right?
right. She probably was like, "Where's like the Audrey Hepburn movies?" I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but like, yeah. So like, I used to like love just to pick a movie. And I remember like my mom like, "Oh no, that's like violent, like too much blood. Pick something nice." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So like, find something like nice to watch.
You're like, it's PG. It doesn't get any. Oh, by the way, side note. There was no PG-13 back in the day, so that was crazy because it was just
like,
PG or not.
Right, it was like G or R. Like
yeah, so like R was like R, if there was no PG-13, then R was intense.
Right, exactly. And then like, and when you think about it, I don't, the rating scale was definitely way different back in the day because
Oh my god, yeah.
Definitely there were some shows that I know we shouldn't be watching. But
Exactly.
did you ever go to
Oh,
Hollywood
man.
Videos? Do you remember that one?
Oh
That was,
yeah,
like,
they were like
fancier.
yes. Oh, it's funny because like maybe because I caught Hollywood Video what it felt like towards the end of the
yes.
era. I
Yep.
sort of like looked at them as like the poor man special. I didn't realize that, so I guess they were trying to be the fancier version.
I felt they were fancy only because when I was living with my mom, where they were located in Plainview, it was like this huge like store, and it was like
Oh really?
20-foot ceilings, and it was like, ooh, this is fancy. And it was like
It's
Hollywood.
like Rosebud Video and
Yes.
it's great.
I thought, yeah, right. So I don't know what it was, but I loved it. And same thing, just you went in, you would look for whatever.
Oh man.
And I used to have a little job like in that shopping center. So after
Oh,
my
really?
little afternoon job, I would walk over to Hollywood Videos, like, ooh, what are we gonna watch tonight? You know? It was
Oh,
like a
that's
lunch
awesome.
break.
You had like prime
Yeah.
access. You could go in like during
Yes,
your
it felt
break. You could
good.
go.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. You probably got some really good stuff. You didn't get like Space Camp and Jason and Argonauts like me. That's pretty good. Oh man, that's really awesome. I love that. What about like cable TV or dubbed movie with curses and stuff? Do you remember like any of the
God,
stuff that
yeah.
you used to watch there?
Yes, remember how the movies would be like stretch out to like 3 hours? And it was
Oh
like
my
you-
god, because of the commercials and everything
Yes.
else.
Yep, and they were like dubbed over, and you're like, no, I want to hear the curses.
Oh my god. Like I was a little bit younger for when I was a kid, but like I liked it when I got older. But they used to play oh my god, what is wrong with me? What is the name of the movie where the 5 kids are in detention on a Saturday? And
Oh, Breakfast Club.
the Breakfast Club. Yeah, thank you.
That
So the
was-
Breakfast Club.
That was on like
Was-
every weekend, right?
It was, right? It was like Channel 11 or whatever the heck it was, and it would like you would be on, and like they would dub in the voices over
Yes.
anything that was inappropriate. But the thing is, that I don't think people realize if I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably do realize it because you're probably old enough, like we are. But they would do this thing where like the words they would choose weren't always like they made sense. It wasn't like instead of saying like a curse word, you would say jerk. It was like, because maybe like it didn't fit the lips at the time, they would pick these really weird random things, like almost like close to like when you watch those funny lip dub videos on YouTube, like similar where like it was like, what? Like, that doesn't even fit the scene. And they would do this constantly.
And like or like yes, they would totally like edit or reword things, and it was like you lose like the meaning of it all, you know, like you need the curses.
Do you remember? I just had a crazy memory, and I don't know if you remember this also. There was this thing, and I want to say it was 7-Eleven, but I could be wrong. And it was a thing where they did these old movies on like, some of them are like kung fu movies, I think, but they were 3D movies, and you'd have to go to the store and pick up your free 3D glasses. Do you remember this? They were cardboard 3D glasses. They were like red and blue. And then they would put on these movies that were definitely old movies and like obviously came out way before, you know, we would watch them. And they would put them back on TV and you could watch these movies in 3D. It was crazy. All right.
No, I've never seen that one.
You know, a few years makes it a little different, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, I was just going to say, we're like not that far apart, but I guess.
Isn't that crazy? Like, oh man, but I was really little, so it could have been like the difference of like, you know, I'm just gonna play it off like, no, I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
Who watches 3D? I was a 3D movie.
You're like, I never saw that before.
Oh man, and then you had here Fraggle Rock. Oh man, that's crazy.
Because that was like an HBO exclusive, Fraggle Rock.
It was.
Yes. So like, because I remember like saying to someone, I'm like, oh, Fraggle Rock. They're like, oh, you were rich because you had HBO. I was like, what? I was rich.
I gotta remember being rich, but congratulations to me.
Cool, I got Fraggle Rock.
Be like, I know who Red and Gobo was, and you don't.
Yeah. And I learned about generosity. Grapes and
I learned that you don't rewrite the dictionary with new words because you're gonna forget what they mean, and you're gonna mess up a whole society.
Exactly.
I guess we learned different things. But I guess we also learned that never hide and go seek inside of an old refrigerator. Because that is the one episode that everyone remembers from Punky Brewster. It freaks everybody out.
Oh yeah.
But this episode, I guess, is not about Punky Brewster. So, also there was I remember my mom one time took me to see, like, I guess like, you know, it's funny because I see it now as a parent, because like I'll go, like, we want to spend like one-on-one time with our kids. And I remember my mom, you know, my sister was in high school, and I remember my mom, we must have been, you know, I must have been like off from school, whatever. And my mom took me to the Sunrise Mall movie theater, which those of you who grew up in New York know that was a place where you go if you want your feet and your shoes to stick to the floor, because it was so gnarly and the soda and everything else was so sticky and gross. But we went and we saw Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 is bizarro. It's
I loved
so weird that I remember going with my mom, and like there was this one scene where there's the female gremlin, and she's like putting on lipstick, and I just remember feeling so uncomfortable next to my mom.
Because she was like out of control. She was a Botox lips before.
Yes.
Or lip fillers. See, I don't even know what the heck you put on your face. Like,
oh my god, what's happening? What's a girl? I don't know what a girl is. What's a girl?
You're like, why she look like that?
Such mixed feelings. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Do you remember Roger Rabbit? Who framed Roger
that movie
Rabbit?
was, man, that movie was insane.
That was another movie, because I love Jessica Rabbit, but I was like, what the heck? Like, that is a movie where it was like,
oh my god, that was so overly sexualized. That was insanity.
Yeah, but it was so good. I loved it because Roger.
And you get the little like baby with the cigar. That was probably probably what influenced the baby movies later on. They came out with like how they could all talk, and they had like a secret society, and Boss Baby. It's probably ripped off from that, right?
Baby. And then, oh my gosh, and then they were putting the little cartoons in the acid. I would get so sad because they were like, no.
That'll show you.
Not the cartoon. And I always wanted to live in a world with animation. Like, I just wish, like, you know, like there was like a fun little like unicorn walking around.
That was really cool. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I love that.
That was good. That was a good one.
So you mentioned also like your parents had like tapes and like they'd see movies and stuff. I think
Yeah.
like we would do some of that too. But my parents had like 3 movies taped, which was so weird. It was like The Wizard of Oz, Splash, and one on the movie. My sister and I watched Splash religiously, which as kids we thought it was a comedy, and as you get older, it's not that funny, and you're like, what is happening?
Right.
But we watched like the Goonies, which definitely became one of my favorite movies over time. The Princess Bride, which also obviously became another one that should be filed under the P section, not T. And then I remember, obviously like all these movies that like just were so many that we would just watch over and over again that like I think my sister and I would just quote because like they were so ridiculous because we didn't have that many movies. Oh, Jaws was the other one, but we didn't really like Jaws that much because it was kind of, whatever. But,
We love Jaws. We had History of the World Part 1 and 2.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
I had
God.
no business watching that, but we used to watch it all the time. And then, of course, my dad was like, he sat down to like watch with us because, that was one that he recorded.
Exactly.
And that was hysterical. Like, to this day, I can still quote so many things from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's really important,
Yeah, I know, exactly. And now, like, some of them are so, now you can't even say some of them because they're so wildly inappropriate.
No, I can't. And, God, I would find that little kid, like, quoting this stuff.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine, like, walking around me, like, it's the Ethiopian Slim Slam dance, whatever it was. Like, I can't even imagine, like,
it was.
Oh, my God, it's nuts.
And then my cousin Vinny, obsessed
that was
with
so
that
good.
movie.
I love that movie too.
I think my dad, did he record it or we recorded? Because you know what? We used to like watch and then remember when you recorded stuff, you could either have 2 choices, like just let it go, like with the commercials.
Yes.
Or like you stopped it in time for the commercial when it was on TV.
Oh, so if you're really good at it, you would have like, you'd cut that part out.
Yeah, so like Anthony and I would be in charge of that. My dad would be like, oh, my cousin Vinny's on here.
Hit the pause button.
Yes, he'd be like, my dad would like run up, he'd be like, here's a tape it. And we're like, all right. Because like we were like young and nimble. And, like,
you'd always miss the first like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep. First 5 minutes and then, like we record it, pause it,
Oh man, we also remember it was National Lampoon's Family Vacation and European Vacation.
My God.
Sister and I saw that so many times. It's so inappropriate. And it was like
so inappropriate.
Crazy.
Like the jokes.
Oh yeah.
And then like that one scene, I think from the European one or whatever, when he met like a love interest.
Yes, it was like it was so wildly inappropriate with like the rampant like cheating and like all of the stuff that was going on and like
it was crazy. It was crazy business.
Yeah, but that was like it was such like the feel of the 80s movies were so like wildly inappropriate at all times that it was like, oh, that's normal.
Yeah, exactly. Like now I would cringe by showing them that stuff. Like I don't know why that feels worse to me than like History of the World. I don't know why.
Right, but well, because I think like I think you're onto something here because the History of the World and those movies like it's meant. I think they're meant to make a statement of like the comedy and the satire. I think works, whereas like National Lampoon is not making a statement; it's just being crazy.
Yeah,
so I think it's just like almost like a blatant disregard for like how people should interact with each other. Right. But the other one's like almost like it talks about racism and other things. I'm going to justify yours.
I think so, right?
But like there is definitely no redeeming quality of National Lampoon's unless you're old enough to watch it. Do you remember? Oh my God, I used to watch over and over and over again, and I think it was probably on HBO a lot, and then I ended up like loving it. Was Better Off Dead? John Cusack, because there was the one where there was the Love Actually where he had his boombox on his shoulder and like played that to the window of the girl that he loved. Bing. Hi, it's Michael Hyde from the future. Just turned out as I was doing wrapping up the show, my wife actually informed me that I messed up in the episode. It was when John Cusack is holding the boombox on his shoulder. I apparently said, I can't admit to it. I said Love Actually, and what was it? Say Anything. So my apologies. It was Say Anything with the boombox, but it doesn't matter because Better Off Dead is an amazing movie. All right, back to the show. Bing. But Better Off Dead was this ridiculous movie where John Cusack was dating this girl, and then he was really bad at skiing, so she left him to date the captain of the ski team. And while all of this is going on, a foreign exchange student, a French girl, moves to his town and she teaches him how to ski, and he has a chance to win the girl back and decides not to and stay and go and then he dates the girl from France.
The French girl.
It's awesome. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's pure John Cusack. It's the one that's like where the paper boy shows up who's like $2.
I feel like I think I've seen this, but I probably was a little too young to quite understand what the heck was kind of going on.
I feel like
'Cause
we need to do a rewatch Saturday.
I know. I see a scene. I'm like, I remember these characters. Okay.
I remember because I think like all those actors like kind of like also moved on to other movies together.
Yes,
So it's like
yes.
nobody knows what movie Booger really started in. Was it Revenge of the Nerds? Was it this? Who knows? She's
Right.
in everything.
Revenge of the Nerds was another one that was really good. I used to love that as well.
That guy was majorly typecasted. I don't know what he was like in everything. He's like, I'll just show up and do that. Just give me my lines. I'll just do the same
Yes.
movie. It doesn't matter.
I'll be the same guy that just shows up in every.
Right. All right, so maybe we'll shift on over to now. Is like, what did we actually try to show our kids, and like try to pass the torch, right? Like, what did we actually try to show them? So obviously, like we showed them, you know, some of our favorites. I showed them Princess Bride, very quotable. Ethan forgot a little bit of it, but for a little while he was quoting every line in the movie. One or two parts were a little inappropriate, but it was definitely something that we love watching together. I think the kids loved it, but getting them to actually commit to sitting down to watching it was tricky. There was like something about a movie looking old that was kind of hard too.
I think that's the big thing, and like with some movies is like especially like the Never Ending Story, like they just have like that
we saw
older
that
look.
recently.
Yeah,
the movie's nuts.
It's nuts. It's so sad of it, but like it doesn't translate, you know, like as well.
It doesn't.
Like, you know.
But we watched it together. Jacob and Ethan and I watched it. Rachel was going out with one of her friends to eat one evening, and Noah was in bed, and we're watching it, and we were laughing by the end of it because in the movie, the kid that steals a book and goes to the attic of the school to read it, he is useless, and he like in the movie like he's given this part where he has to name the princess. And he's like, he opens a window, it's like lightning, and he's screaming out into it's nuts. And we're like, you have one job. Just give her a name. Give her a name.
Why are you so stressed out? Like, Sally, that would be fine. Good. Move on.
Like, this guy lost his horse. He's getting attacked by a wolf. He's going through the world. And
then, like,
my man.
nothingness coming or something. Oh, man, that was so sad.
The kid's eating an apple. He can't figure out how to name somebody. Come on,
no,
dude, pull together.
Right, could have said apple. Done. They would have been happy.
Incompetence, I tell you. But it was funny. It was fun to watch. That was definitely one. Oh, we watched Labyrinth. Oh my God, Labyrinth was another one that is so weird. And to sell it was also quite hard as well. But after getting to the first like 10 to 15 minutes of Justin or David Bowie showing up and singing and put on his tights, it was definitely one that the kids really enjoyed. Also, it was wacky but awesome. I think my nostalgia for like the Muppety wackiness of the movie was definitely something that like I pushed on them, but I think they really enjoyed it after it was weird, but they enjoyed it.
So my kids love horror movies because like I took a break from horror movies when I was after having children because I was just like, oh, I don't want to expose them to such scary things. And Sophia really like got into it like around like age 11 or something like that. So I was trying to tell them, I'm like, guys,
I remember that. I was so surprised. Yeah,
I know. I'm like, if you like horror movies, you have to watch like the mother of horror movies, like The Exorcist. And I think it was just too much storyline for them. Like it wasn't like jump right away, jumping in your face.
That's so funny.
Like there was a slow build up and things like that. Like, and to this day, I always say like The Exorcist. They're like, no, we don't want to watch that. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like,
no, it's to drag them back to watching it. Like it's impossible.
I know. I tried trying to force them, but they never even finished it because, like I said, like it was just too much storyline, like the build up, the priest and his life, and it was just too much for them, I guess. And then, you know, a random one, Uncle Buck.
Oh my God,
you remember that? With
it's so funny. Candy? Yes, he like wins like a steak eating contest or something, and like
yes, oh my God, I remember loving that because I just wanted an Uncle Buck to show up to my house and cause chaos.
That is so funny.
The kids just, again, they watch it. They're like, do we have to keep watching this? I'm like, no, okay, I guess we're done. It was like one of those, you know. Yeah. They just it didn't translate for whatever reason. Like, for whatever reason.
It's really funny. Yeah, for whatever reason, right? God, that was around the same time as like, I don't even remember the name of the movie. There's like some movie about a family of like Bigfoot people. That was like, I don't remember what it was called. But there was so many weird movies at that time. Do you remember
Eddie with Ed?
Was it Ed? It was some right? I can't remember the name of the movie. It was like a whole family of them, right?
A whole family of them, or was it just like they found Sasquatch or whatever?
Oh, maybe it was just one. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I forget now.
And you look back on the movies during when we were younger, they're so weird, like cone heads. Like, what was happening?
God, yeah, like what was going on? It was called There was Bigfoot and Harry.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons. So remember, there was the
That
movie.
was the one.
There was a show, Harry, but then there was Bigfoot, the actual movie, and I think Bigfoot came out. Then Harry came because everyone was like, "Oh."
I was thinking of Harry and the Hendersons was the one that I think I was thinking of.
But I remember seeing.
But I realized the Hendersons were probably like just people, and Harry was the guy that was.
That they found. Yes, they found him.
Yes. You know, really, really hard hitting, Americana classics. We're like direct to movie practically. It's crazy. Oh my god, direct to video. What about so you mentioned scary movies, so I have to mention it. I think it's like therapy. So when we went to Florida, I think I've told this podcast like 8 times, but we went to Florida. My mom
working it out. It's okay.
I know. I swear. Like I'm still trying to figure out the context of this because it's so strange to me. So my mom, it was a rainy day, and I think my dad offered to take my sister and I to the movies. So it baffles my mind. I was like 6 years old. We went to see Aliens, and it was like, but it's not like Aliens was the first movie. It was a sequel to Alien, and in Alien there were like aliens coming out of people's chests. It was a horror movie in space, and my dad took my sister and I see Aliens, and I think that was not a good fit for me. I did not like it.
Aww.
So that was not something that I wanted to pursue as far as a movie genre. After that, but I also saw from my own volition. I put on Poltergeist 2. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
But that was like that creepy scene where like Caroline goes into if it was like a bathroom or if it was like whatever it was, and there's like all these monsters looking back at her after she leaves it, and it was like, oh, that's scary. So that I definitely remember, like, you know, the bathroom door and the lights would stay on, and it was like I would not go into a room by myself when the door is closed. Oh my god. So like for me, I get nervous about showing my kids horror movies because apparently I need therapy after seeing all these movies.
You were traumatized.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. No, like mine was like Hellgate was scary because that was like
with Pinhead. Is it the one with Pinhead?
No, this is like the little demons that come out from like the ground and like
they're like little clay guys.
Yeah, and then they have to like cover.
Oh my god, I love that movie for some reason.
There was the eyeball like in the palm of your hand.
Yes, yes. So it show up like.
Yeah. Oh god, that freaked me out like so bad.
Why did I love that movie?
Really, you loved it? I was scared.
Yes.
As a production, so those little demons.
That's so funny that I was into it. I don't know. I kind of weird. My brain's all weird. I don't know. Oh god. And then what about did you have any fails of movies that like you tried to show your kids like besides like that maybe not necessarily that they didn't enjoy because they were bored, but like so my wife was like, oh, let's put on Indiana Jones. I love that. We put on Indiana Jones 1, and it was like there was like in the first like I don't know like 15 minutes of the movie there's like racist stuff. This like I know. We watch it now as adults. We get it. It's fine. It was a time period, whatever. But there was like drinking with Marion. There's the Nazis. There's a guy burning his hand. There was like, it was like all this. It was the gunfight. It was everything was happening all the same. Like it was all happening at once. And we're like, oh my god. Should we turn this off? I'm like, maybe we'll watch something else. Yeah, it was a lot.
We should just fast forward.
If the kids were like a little bit older, maybe it would be okay. But like it at their age, it was like, oops, Daisy, this was not a good one.
That was like, so that was my experience. My experience recently, well, Jean's gonna kill me. Jean the other day was like, hey, Julian. Oh, he's like super bad. I haven't seen that in so long. I love that movie.
No way. Are you serious?
He's like, Julian, you want to watch it with me? Julian's like, sure, why not?
I don't know. Whatever Gene like looked back at that movie in fondness for versus what was actually in the movie, I can think of like 17 scenes in my head that were probably. He probably thought about McLovin driving the car around in circles. I was like, it's probably a fine movie.
Was dying because the next morning Gene was like, we're like laying in bed. He's like, he's like, he's like super bad. I don't remember it being so bad, like so graphic with something. He's like. I was like, so did you pause it? He's like, no, Julian was laughing. He liked it. I was like, awesome.
Do you remember that part where like they get back from the party and they're like in the sleeping bags and they start booping each other in the nose? So ridiculous.
Oh my god, I died just thinking about it. But yeah, so that was, and then Julian, that's all he talked about the next day.
Oh my god, I can only imagine. Like, you are not allowed to draw on your notebooks or your binders. Oh my god, that is out of control.
He's like, why was he so obsessed? I'm like, I don't know, Julian.
I'm glad we had this conversation. We've learned a lot today.
Oh, that was amazing. So those shows
Oh
super
my god. That is absolutely wonderful.
Oh god, I'm like crying.
I know, that's why we probably try to play it safe. I'm like, let's just watch a Muppet movie. But then we watched we actually just showed them Avatar last night. Didn't remember how there's some moments in that movie that are a little
yes, there are some moments that are inappropriate. Yep.
We're like, ma'am.
Oh, well, all right.
Sorry, blue
people.
All right, look at you with your blue freaky clothes. Go do your thing. Tallness and your
there you go.
Their relationship was brought to the next level in front of the tree. I'm like, oh, okay.
But like,
we're doing
was
this.
there any movies that your kids did actually like? So you got Princess Bride. They like.
Yeah, they like that. I think they liked. They like Goonies. They liked. The Muppet movie they were into. At first, they were a little bit bored by it, but then they got into it. And then the one that they didn't like, which ended up being like a so Star Wars took a little while. Star Wars Episode 4.
Okay.
I think I tried on like 4 or 5 Father's Day until it actually stuck. And then they were into it because we were going to go to Disney, so that's when I kind of like that. But that was hard to get them to watch, which I thought would have been an easier sell. And then Lord of the Rings, before throwing them into Lord of the Rings before they had watched any sort of reference point as to any sort of like Lord of the Rings stuff, without all the hype of like commercials and stuff when we saw it, was like sort of a hard sell. And I think they were sort of mocking it as we were watching it. I'm like, how dare you? You don't make fun of Gandalf. So, yeah. And then they somehow, I think Jacob ended up reading The Hobbit for school. And then Ethan flipped through the graphic novel. And then of all the movies, because The Hobbit wasn't so great, we ended up watching The Hobbit movie and then kind of into it. So I don't know, maybe we'll give it a rewatch. But I was just sorely disappointed in how much.
Great.
Right? What? Maybe I thought of it. Maybe it was because it had like 2 sequels. So it was like by the time they got to the third one, I was like, all right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Love The Hobbit.
But what about you?
So for me, the kids really liked Little Monsters.
Oh, that movie was so good with Fred Savage.
Yes, and like the monsters were under the bed, and like
yes.
they
that was a cool movie.
I loved it, and there was like
it was like if you stayed there too long, then you start turning into a right. He had to like get out,
and like you could do like whatever. Home Alone's a classic. I think every kid like loves that one. That was
they do. Yeah, and as a parent, you're like, oof. Yeah.
Yes, I'm like, how did you forget your kid?
I know.
And then there was Little Rascals. They love that one.
Oh no way! Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, the 1990 version one of that. And then I just thought of it too as we were talking. What the heck was it?
I feel like the Sandlot came to mind. Oh, what do you got?
Dennis the Menace.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, they like that one with what's his face? The guy from Odd Couple.
I can't think of it. That's so funny though.
But they
enjoyed it.
Those were the ones that they liked when they were younger, and they still watch it every once in a while.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm like, all right,
That's
at least we got something from my childhood that they enjoyed.
You know what's funny is I wonder what movies like they watch now that someday down the road will become their classics or their nostalgia. You know? I
know. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh man, I love this.
Mako Mermaids for sure for my daughter.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my god, that's funny. So I think this is a lot of fun talking about these different little movies from our childhood and things that we had experienced. I think the question this week is, what movies do you believe were nostalgia for you as a kid? And what did you try to watch your kids? How did it go? Was it good? Was it bad? We'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to answer this question, have comments, questions for the show, you can get in touch with us in one of 3 ways. Check the show notes for our Hey the Parents voicemail line, our email address, or our socials. So we're back for this part of the show. It's called Time to Unplug. This is where we talk about the things that are going on outside of our children, because sometimes we just have to have something for ourselves or with our spouses. It gives us a chance to decompress because you'll be a better we if you take care of me. And with that, let's start out with Sarah D.
Oh, so speaking of scary stuff.
I see that. I already see it. I'm like, Evil is probably not a happy movie.
Evil. It's so good. It's really not that scary. I think you might actually kind of dig it because there is some just really bad like demon makeup kind of going on, like costume.
Oh, I'm into it. All right, I'm into it.
It's really not that scary. The first episode the first like 2 episodes were scarier, but then they really weren't when it all like kind of comes out. But it was it's on Netflix, the first 3 seasons, and then season 4 is on Paramount. So I'm in the midst of that. I've been binging it. It's so good. Like, even my friend, I recommended it to her, and she's like, Sarah, I don't know what you have me watching. It is the craziest show.
Really?
But it's so good. Like, and I don't think it was like her genre. Like, like there's like a priest. There's a priest, a nerdy tech Muslim dude, and a like agnostic psychologist, and they go and they investigate different evil things that are happening
Really?
through the church.
What an interesting group of characters.
Yes. So like they go through the church, and like so that like they assess different things. So it's like, oh, like I hear a lot of banging in my house. I think it's a demon. So then they go in, and sometimes there is a demon. Sometimes it's the radiator is just wobbly, And
Really?
They explain stuff. So I love that, because it's just like, it's not all the time like horror and stuff. It's just kind of like, oh, it's this, or they all drank something that made them hallucinate. That's why they're seeing this.
No way.
So
how does it play out? Is it like is it meant to look like it's a documentary, or is it like more of a TV show? Like
a TV show, and there's some humorous moments, there's some scary moments, and then there's like a whole, and it just gets crazier. It just like, honestly, like at some point you have to kind of suspend reality and just be like, I'm going with the show.
I love it.
But it's really good. I've enjoyed it, and like I said, my friend, I don't think that's her usual genre. Like, she likes the horror, like she likes the thriller. She likes like a true crime, but this I think was a little bit out of her genre, and she was like, it's so good.
That's cool.
She liked it, so watch it.
All right, I'm gonna have to follow suit and check it out. And I know that next week, I hope we're gonna watch it, because we have to watch the last part of Karate Kid or Cobra Kai. So I have nothing to report back on that yet, because I haven't watched it yet. But the thing I am going to say about this week is a video game, which I've been very, very excited to actually play and talk about, is Animal Well. Animal Well was made, I think, by a one-person development team. And it is this game that is all about Easter eggs. And I think that like sometimes like Easter eggs are cool to find in a game, but this game is consistently about like, it's a Metroidvania. You find stuff by finding things, you're allowed to do the next thing. You have to go back and kind of look for little clues and things. It's not the prettiest looking thing. It's a 2D Metroidvania. It looks like something out of Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and it is ridiculously cool, and it plays insanely well on a Steam Deck. The thing with this game is you can beat the game, and then there's like another layer that goes like deeper into the Matrix, and then you could go and find these like items and stuff. And then there's like a third part which goes way deep in the Matrix, and I haven't done any of that yet. We're still kind of finishing up the first part, but from what I gather, like inside the game, one like game reviewer website was saying like they were looking at the game and they were playing it, and they looked at something on a wall or something in the game, and like that looks like a QR code, and they took out their phone, and then they went, and it actually brought them to a website that gave a clue in the game. So it is like cool. It's crazy. So it's really, really cool. Animal Well, it's on, I think, PS5, Switch, and I think Steam. So I think that's where you can play it. Ethan was playing it on the Switch, and then I started playing it on the Steam Deck, and that's kind of where I've been playing it. But it's a really cool game. So Animal Well, it's about $20 on Steam or whatever else, and I think it's really cool. So I think we gave you some interesting stuff this week, and I think when Mike Levine joins us back next week, we will hear from his excitement of Time to Unplug. So I think we're just about out of time on this episode. It's been so much fun hanging out with Sarah D as we explored the nostalgia, the movies from our childhood, whether that be The Exorcist to Princess Bride to 10 minutes of Indiana Jones. It doesn't matter what we were watching, because as long as we felt uncomfortable when part 2 of The Gremlins, when she puts on the lipstick, we'll take a special moment just to thank our listeners and supporters for donating to our show. If you want to help support the show so we can keep making episodes like this one, we have a link to donate in the show notes. If you don't have the means to do so, we really do appreciate it. We tell your friends or family about this podcast, so maybe we can reach more listeners. Maybe we can learn from them, they can learn from us in our growing community. If you get a chance, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We can't wait to explore this parenting thing again with you next week on Hey the Parent, because every week it's an honest discussion about raising kids. Don't forget to hug your kids and charge those Chromebooks. That's gonna do it for me, for Sarah, and for Mike, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey the Parents is produced by Mike Levine and Sarah D. And me, Michael Haidt. I edit mix our show. Our intro voice recording was done by the one and only Coltrane. If you like our show, we hope that you'll consider going to the show notes and help support the podcast. Check the show notes for social media information and contacts, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Peace. And on this week, our parents were doing an intro. Oh, God. Happy Sunday. Let's do this.
We want to know them, but worry.
God. Peter picked pepper picked. It's insane. All right. That was hard. Okay. Cool. This is going perfect. Oop, not that. Not that. There he goes. Swimmingly. That was hard. Podcasting is hard. Sunday podcasting is hard.
Sunday, yes, early morning. Sunday.